all is what's the biggest goal to be accomplished by your working group in the next 30 days? Are you having the same issue, Lauren, with Notion and Google Meet? I wonder if it's like our internet connection or something. Ashley, are you having that problem with Notion or Google Meet?
Could be like Brave browser on Macs. Sometimes like the version's weird or something.
Okay, yeah, must be Brave browser and Max. You're using Brave, Lauren?
Yeah, try using Firefox or even Safari, might just work.
But I don't want to use Firefox or Safari.
What about Chrome?
I don't know what to tell you. I'm sorry, man. I wish I could fix it, but I can't.
Maybe we should start using better. Sorry, anyway. We should start using better platforms.
Yeah, they need people like Mary Jaff testing these things. Anyway, the biggest goal that will be accomplished for your working group or chapter in the next 30 days. For me, if fundraising counts, our goal will be to really standardize some of the processes that we're doing around KYC, especially since the Swiss entity is coming through. That's probably the biggest thing that we'll do in the next 30 days. Although we'll also just be pushing a lot of L1 grants for Common Stack and Giveth. It'll be like the same grant over and over again. And I'll throw it over to Lauren.
Well, Quadratic funding launched last week, so that was a really big milestone that we hit. And then the next 30 days, we'll have to complete that first round, end the round, do the Sybil analysis, distribute funds to projects, and just churn through that whole process. I think just having that as one kind of start to finish thing is going to be really useful for us in being able to predict how future rounds will go and inform them. And then in the give economy side, I think within the next 30 days, we can also get Optimus and Give Backs and Give Power live, which has been kind of sitting on our plate for quite a long time. And will be a nice kind of final push out the door. And yeah, those are kind of the major things in my working groups right now. I'll pass it to Monique.
Everybody. On Dev chapter, I think I have to onboard Mary Jaff. Mary Jaff is going to be full-time next week. So I have to onboard her on multiple projects and try to increase her communication skills to work with other PMs. And I trying to onboard Mehdi, have the Yusuf and IVV issues more clear, and onboard them to other projects and try to have a knowledge sharing inside the team. And for the app, I was assuming that I can finalize the API issues, but I'm not sure that we can do it or not. Maybe it's related to the managing of the DApp working group. The QF, as Lauren said, was the biggest milestone that we did it. Beside that, I hope that I can finalize the issues from the major problems that we have on the backend side and prepare the list of the issues there. So that's it. And I can pass it to Ashley.
Thanks, Monique. I think the biggest goal for Communitas in the next 30 days is successfully preparing and launching season 2 of the ambassador program. So that should be launched and working well within the next 30 days. We want to also be doing some research and forming a strategy with the help of Serbi, who's here, and also to have our Meet the Makers event, as well as kind of like turn this more into a campaign and do some like project features and some storytelling and more of like communications campaign. So that's in the works. And I think those are like the three biggest things. We're looking into how we can remove some of the barriers to some of our platforms for community members, and we'll be talking about that in the call. But I think those are like the major goals for the next 30 days. I'll pass it to Mitch.
Yeah, I think mine is going to be for DAO Ops is going to be finishing the sub-DAO. Finishing the sub-DAO transition. So getting all the working group proposals up and voted on, and then the next part of that is going to be for me. Is okay, what do we do with it now? You know, how do we measure our actual costs and deliverables up to what we expect we were going to do or what we were going to expect to spend? After that, we've working on delivering some upgrades to the way that we deliver feedback to each other. So overhauling our feedback forms, having some new ones on top of that. But I think that's it that we're going to deliver for DAO Ops. Nothing too crazy. And I will pass it to Almond.
Thank you, Mitch. So, kind of like a lot of things happening. QF for sure is the priority for now. And as a second, I would say the Octant communications around continue pursuing the people that hold the block to vote and support Giveth. So I think that those two are main comms external things that the comms chapter is focusing on. And then also really I'm trying to onboard Ketchup and Serbi to really try to catch up in order to start working on the things that are happening right now, so that we can really count with them in the comms chapter. So for me, that's also a priority to do my best to onboard them and to just guide them in whatever they need. And then a couple of other things. Trying to work with communities as well in their requests for the ambassador program season 2 that's going to be launched, and also that needs some comms work and with Meet the Makers as well. I think that would say kind of like my second working group priority that I need to start right away. And other things that might not be a priority but still needs to figure out and get out is the 2 podcasts that we have that had been kind of like paused because of all the things that have been happening, but trying to catch up in launching and finishing that as well. I'll pass it to Franco.
Thank you, Almond. In the rewards working group, what do we have? We want to finish, the first thing is finishing the retroactive distribution. We're only like 4 months away, so that's going to happen in the next like 2 or 3 weeks. And I guess the focus is onboarding Danny again into Giveth. And just like we just had a meeting and there's a lot of things going on, and we said a lot of like things that we want to do, like we're going to update the community slide in the community call, kind of like improve the communication for praise and start giving out more data and more like metrics about the praise that we're having. So I guess the immediate goal is kind of like create these new like processes. Like I'm gonna onboard Nicola as well to kind of like start sending messages for distributions to quantifiers and for the praise receivers. And there's a lot that we are trying to define for this first season of the working group. And I'll pass it back to you, Griff.
Nice. Is that everyone? I think so. I think that's everyone who leads the chat. Well, I guess Mitch, or I'm sorry, Kai, do you have any DevOps goals?
Oh, is that
Or the biggest goal?
yes, we want to onboard. Sorry.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, the main goal for like the next week is to find another person to onboard into our world of DevOps. And yeah, let's see what else. We have to have we have not like a lot more incidents than in the past, but you know, let's say it's sometimes busy, so we try to also have some, you know, time left to deal with incidents and stuff.
Cool. Okay, that's perfect. So, sorry for everyone else. I don't think anyone else leads a working group or a chapter, so we'll just keep this party rolling. There's 2 agenda topics, and I don't know if anyone. By the way, Mitch, you're sharing your screen. I guess I can share my screen here. It's not pretty because we're in a Google Doc because I couldn't get Notion to work today. But we have two topics. It is. Oh, I lost it. Let me send the doc here if you guys don't have it. It's Giveth Incentives Program. We want to continue that discussion. And then grant opportunities. I would really love more feedback on this, and honestly would love to pass it to someone if someone wants to take it and run with this idea about creating incentives for our employees that are more collective in nature. That is the goal of this program. Now, whether or not the goal is a good idea or not, I don't know, but kind of being able to rally the team around like big wins would be the goal. So yeah, I'm curious. We talked about it 2 weeks ago, and I don't know if anyone else wants to jump in and talk about what they think about these stats. If the stats are bad idea, or if there's some piece of work that you feel is not incentivized here that we need to have like a category for. But the concept was that if for 2 months in a row we get monthly revenue that covers expenses, like for instance, Optimism retroactive public goods funding, we made a profit that month, and if we made a profit also in the next month, then that would be 2 months in a row, right? If we have over 200K in donations, and honestly, this round we're looking really good for having. I think we've had like over 50K in donations in this 2 week period. So that's really good. That's really cool. Over 500 donors. I'm really curious to see what we get for QF if we get over 500 donors, but they probably didn't donate over $20 a piece. 60 new projects verified 2 months in a row. I don't even know if that's how achievable that is, but you know, it should be a stretch. And then like if the give token goes up 50%. So that's kind of just, that might be more on bull market, but there also are other ways that this could go up. So yeah, I don't know. Does anyone have any thoughts on this?
I mean, these just look like things that should be in the working group proposals, you know? I mean, like I look at these first three things and I'm like, okay, isn't this what like the DApp and the Communitas have or should have in their KPIs? Unique donors, some amount in donations, getting new verified projects. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I think there's like KPIs and then there's like going above and beyond so that everyone in the team is rewarded.
I don't know. I don't know how I'm gonna like approach working on this, you know? I don't know how I would actually get this done, you know?
I provided some points to last week, and I think, in this tiny time that we have, we can't discuss it. We only can somehow sort it out as a kind of questionnaire and go forward with it. I was preparing something when you just talked about it, and I think there's 2-3 models for this. Bonuses in all organization. One of them is revenue sharing, one of them is profit sharing, and one of them is based on the what do we call it? I forgot the exact name, but it's a hierarchy kind of KPIs for each working group. Also, other models that has the 360-degree feedbacks that gives us from every person, and every person has a kind of percentage from the main source. And there's a big sheets that calculate all of these numbers and calculate the amount of bonuses that can get out. However, I don't want to talk a lot about these issues, but the model that we want to have it, I think if you can go ahead with it if you think that it's okay, but because we can't jump into details in this meeting, I think.
Yeah, that's fair. I guess maybe the next step is for me to just make it a forum post and see where it goes from there. Okay, well, if there's any other feedback or thoughts, you can jump into the Google Doc. The other thing that I just want to make sure everyone is aware of is just found out last week that we actually passed the ETC grant. So Give Token is coming to the Ether Classic. I feel responsible for that chain. So it's like this is like full circle for Giveth. So congratulations. We got a 50K grant. Of course we haven't passed the KYC yet. This is not a priority. This is just information. It's something that we will have to do, but it's not like a huge issue. But we can get started on it, and it's a full integration like Optimism. So yeah, that's the story there. Superfluid is also, and so we got this 50K grant, and we're asking for another 6K for incentives for projects to add Ether Classic, and that will be a follow-up grant. Superfluid is, so we'll need to bridge Give to ETC and deploy givebacks on ETC. It's everything that we did for Optimism. It's a full integration, give power and all that. Is 50K reasonable, right? Like, it's not going to be that much work since we already did it for Optimism, I assume. Just to get a quick feedback.
Well, I don't even know if these things exist for Ether Classic. Like, can you use the subgraph? Is there a subgraph for Ether Classic?
They do.
I think the wallets are, a little bit different. Am I right? Because
Nope.
No.
MetaMask.
It should be.
And we have sign. Sorry, we have sign. We have sign messages there in that chain.
I assume so. That's not something I checked, but they do have subgraphs, and they do use MetaMask, and they do have a bridge. And we can, when we get this through, we can work with Bob Somerville to get these things through. For just to jump ahead to Cello, it's just to get the rest of it, get the incentives, and then also to deploy. KYC is blocking it, but this is the Swiss unlock. So maybe another thing that's worth mentioning, and Mitch, you can give us a better update, but the Swiss entity had a meeting today, and Sounds like it's 1 week out.
No, I should have the entity ready whenever the gas calms down.
Oh, you mean for the multi-sig, but like when can we start talking to these grant orgs and give them an address and do KYC as a Swiss entity?
I think it's done.
Really?
I don't know. Let me just look in here. Yeah. Okay, all right. No, don't quote me on that then. Sorry.
Yeah, Jake mentioned, I asked Jake really quick and he was saying that we like have some paperwork to fill out or something and that should be done in a week. So that's cool. Yeah, and then we can start doing KYC with this Swiss entity, which will unlock Cello and should unlock a lot of other things too. And so when I say Cello finish the work, I mean like, hey, let's get like the give token on Cello. Let's do all of the things. Let's get all of the things going on Cello. Superfluid has 30K for us that they really want us to add like streaming donations and they'd pay us 30K to do it. Well, for sure they'd pay us 25, but I think they'd pay us 30. Polygon ZK EVM, Jordy and several people from Polygon have asked us to apply, even though they don't have a formal grant program. They asked us to give a spec on what it would take to launch everything on Polygon ZK EVM. So that's cool. Mantle, we're in the process, and that should go through. It seems like we have love and support in the Mantle side, so very bullish there. BNB, I don't know. We're applying. Same with Ripple. We're applying. Ripple would be really cool because, so like Mantle, Polygon ZK EVM, ETC, Cello, and Arbitrum, all of those are normal integration. Nothing different than Optimism. But for Ripple, Ripple would be like what we were speccing out for Zcash. And it would be super cool because then we could easily integrate Bitcoin as well if we got Ripple's integration. So that would be exciting. And Polkadot and Solana, they have their own wallets, but we were approached by Solana very aggressively, Polkadot a little less aggressively, for integration into Giveth. So it might be very interesting, and we would need to spec those out. And yeah, and so these are all integrations that we're going to work on the fundraising group. And I just want to like, not scare you guys, tell you guys that it's coming, that that these things might happen in the next 6 months. Things move very slowly in these kinds of conversations, but at least they're being worked on. Yeah. So that's that. Is there any questions or any thoughts? Any other grant opportunities I'm missing or any other topics? Open space. We got 2 minutes. Yeah.
Don't you want to hire PMs in a fundraising working group? At least they can help you to speak out things when you want to do, suppose.
Well, for most of these, it's just copy paste, Control F, replace. Like for Polygon, Mantle, BNB, Arbitrum, Cello.
Yeah,
we know those grants. Ripple, me and Katabe hacked together already, and we submitted it. It was a 150K grant actually that we requested from them. So we'll see. Luckily, their token price went up, so I'm bullish on this one. And then, but Polkadot and Solana, we will need PMs to look at these integrations. And my default PM right now is Mitch, since he's not coming to Burning Man. So those integrations might be interesting to spec out alongside Superfluid. Superfluid is a slam dunk. Solana is very likely. Polkadot's kind of a long shot. So if Mitch, if you're interested in PMing any of these or looking at what is possible, you know where to find me. We can start chatting about some of it.
Well, okay. I don't know.
I guess alongside this is this concept of a feature freeze. Mitch had mentioned that there are a couple features that are really important to the Giveth app, specifically APIs and the multisig. And I don't know if there's other features that we're trying to add, but yeah.
For multisig, I really want to discuss it. Are you sure that is a priority? Because for donation we can do it manually. For boosting is Mare, I know, but we may find another way to, even do it manually rather than building something new for organizations or the multi-sig holders to boost projects themselves.
I think that there is a effort for account abstraction that is, slowly building and likely to be an issue if Giveth doesn't work with multisigs and therefore account abstraction, contract wallets. So I think that there is something to be said with that, but there's also something to be said with it's more of a research project. I don't think it's hard. I think it's more if we do the right research, then we'll find like the thing that makes it super easy.
Yeah, the solution is more important than implementation.
Mm-hmm. I think that there is a solution out there. It's just a research project.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Griff.
Thank you. And now I think I can pass the ball to Mitch to start the governance call.
Yeah, sure. Let's see here. Where is this one? All right. Yeah, so there's not really a lot to talk about in governance, but I'm curious if you guys have anything. We'll start off with just some intentions and distractions for the governance call. I think today my only thing is here to facilitate, address any priority items, and talk about octant voting. Distractions, lots of projects, a lot of stuff that I'm hearing for the first time. So anyway, that's my stuff. I will pass it on to Nicola. Welcome.
Thank you. I have been around for the last 20 minutes. Cool stuff you talk, guys, about. What? Intentions and distractions. Intentions is to just sketch up and maybe ask, see what was the situation that actually resolved around this India conference post, because I was contacted by this person directly. So I just want to make sure that I follow up somehow on the conversation with him. Other than that, I'm just here to sync up and no distractions. Hi from Amsterdam. So passing it to who just joined? I don't know. Jake.
Yeah, cool. Distractions, just getting back from a week in Paris, so a lot of catch up today. A lot of things with fundraising, so trying to get that prepared for the call after this. Intentions, since I missed the last call, just get caught up on whatever the Mitch show has to offer. Let me pass it to Griff.
Yeah, I have one, which is a small sponsor. My only intention is to add a small discussion about sponsoring the Crypto Commons gathering, and because it was asked by me. And distractions, just DMs. And I'll throw it over to Kai.
Wow, I hope you are coming and I hope it's here, the Crypto Commons gathering. Also much love to Amsterdam. I'm just here to get updated and see what you guys have in the forum. I didn't put anything there and no distractions. I give it to Almond. Please.
Thanks. Feeling good here as well to figure out the Web3 conf India, because I know that also Keshav was asking me about this. So I see that we haven't commented yet. So maybe just dedicate a little bit of today's 30 minutes on that and pass it to Franco.
Thank you, Alman. Intentions, just say thank you to everyone who voted on the snapshot for the rewards working group and announce it that it passed with sustain. I'm really happy. And yeah, just catching up and syncing with everyone. And yeah, no distractions whatsoever. I'll pass it over to Surbi.
Thank you. I have spent the last one and a half week talking to a lot of people within the team and understanding the Giveth ecosystem. Now I'm working on the growth strategy, and hopefully by next week I would love to just present that and take your inputs and see where we can go from there. I am super focused right now, so yes, no distractions.
Would you like to pass it to someone, Serbi? Somebody who hasn't talked.
Sorry. Yes, I will pass it on to Ashley.
Thanks, Sari. My intentions for the call are just to sync up with you guys. Also, maybe ask some questions about the budget flow or process now that we're sub-DAOified, like how that looks as a working group steward and how I can expect that flow to go. And I don't really have any distractions. I'm here and present, and I'll pass it to Keshav.
Hey everyone, my intentions today, to know more about Web3 conference, because my friend is the organizer, so he asked me what's the thing going on with Giveth, and my distraction was I was having fever last week, I caught fever, so yeah. So right now I have a little bit of cough, but yeah, I'm fine. Yeah, I will pass it to Franco.
Franco already went, but we can pass it to Lauren.
Yeah, my intentions are just to talk about all those things. The Octant and the Crypto Commons gathering, I don't have any unique intentions. And I'm not very distracted. I'm heating up food, though. I'll pass it to Katavi.
GM, here to sink in, and I have no distractions. Let me see. Has Kai already went?
Kai already went, but I think we can hear from Monique.
Hey everybody. And not the specific intentions. And just really want to know that who has supposed to submit the camps working group proposal. And I'm a little bit, I had a long day, and my distraction is that, I need to rest soon. And I pass it to Giant King.
Giant King is muted, but I want to. I think I got everybody I want to hear from. So I want to kick this off because there's a lot of stuff here. So I can see that there's a lot of random topics. I just want to get that last one in there. So I think since we do have a limited amount of time, I want to prioritize talking about this India conference since I think I heard it the most. So I assume that we are talking about this. Where is it here? This one here, right, guys? That's the one.
Yep.
Yeah.
My feeling, and I'm curious what you guys think, is just like, as a rule, we probably say no to sponsoring things right now. I think that's been our general take. I think there's been a few people. There was that one in Switzerland, and there was a few other that asked for sponsorships, I think in Mexico. But I'm curious if there's any reason that we should say otherwise, if anyone thinks.
I don't think. Well, Keshav, are you going to this conference? Are you going to Goa?
Yeah, I'm planning to go. Yeah.
That's cool. But I think
Yeah.
you're in Serbia. Are you going?
Yes, I'm planning to go as well.
Oh, interesting.
Also,
I mean-
other than sponsorship, like they shared about community partnership with me. So I think like they didn't mention about community partnership here. So basically, let me share about that also. I guess he sent me the thing for that also once. Let me check.
I think the 8K number is too high for us.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate, but I think it's too high. But I do think that we should get you guys some stickers to pass out. I think having awareness that this conference is happening is really cool. And I don't know if we can get you guys some stickers or something. But we're not. I feel like a lot of these sponsorships are generally like, oh yes, let's support this community growth. And as much as I think we would love to support the community growth, we're not in a financial place where that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Also,
But also,
Please go on.
You're going to say.
Yeah, so what I was saying, I have attended events in Dubai, Singapore, India in the last few years. Honestly, Web3 conference will not be great in terms of audience exposure. So I would really not suggest to invest in the sponsorship here. I have been in the previous conference last year. I think for the brand awareness per se, I think what will really make sense is having some sort of goodies out there, or stickers or hoodies for that matter. But sponsorship is not the ideal for this particular conference. It's not the best of the kind.
Do either of you guys have T-shirts, like Giveth shirts?
No, in fact, I just noticed Monique was wearing Giveth t-shirt. I just think about it. No, I don't have.
I don't know. We should try today to go to the swag shop and order some shirts, and DM me your addresses, and I can I can give you some. I think. Is it only nice tokens that work, or does G Love still work, Mitch? I guess you guys could just use your credit card, and then I can reimburse, and if that's possible,
just airdrop them whatever they need.
Yeah, I think airdropping nice tokens is easier because then I can just pay for it. If G Love works, then I can airdrop it. But Mitch, if you can send them nice tokens, then
Griff, G-Love was on Rinkeby.
yeah, does that still work?
No, Rinkeby's gone.
Oh, that's right.
I just want to leave the details maybe outside of this that we can use the time for something else. So just to get the clarified, financial sponsorship, no.
Yeah. Also, I sent out one document for community partnership and media partnership. One of my friend is an organizer, so he sent me about which is community and media partnership, so we can check for that also. but it's like I don't think so. It will be very useful. So yeah, what do you guys think? Like I sent a doc about that.
The most useful is to get you guys shirts and stickers, and we
Yeah.
have to mail the stickers, but get the shirts, and that we can get for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to suggest maybe sourcing them locally would be easier, depending on where you are in India.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's true, because honestly, the shipping times just might not make it.
yeah.
Okay, so I just want to figure out then, just for at least this part here, just to respond to their forum post. Yeah, for this particular request, I think it's a no. That's what I hear. And then whatever we choose to do with stickers and shirts and like that, we can figure it out. Like, we don't need everybody here in this call to sort that out.
Yeah.
Okay. Great. Then, wow, too many tabs, you guys. Here, this thing here. I think then the next important thing will be just a quick mention to Octant. Do you have anything you want to say, Lauren, to this, or is it just kind of the obvious things to please vote?
Yeah, vote. I'll tell you the things though. It's basically Octant is giving away $1 million of ETH. So basically every percentage that we get in the snapshot vote is like $1,000 or something like that. So I'm gonna send the link to the snapshot vote, and everyone who has a POAP, you would have had to claim the POAP. You can't hear me?
No, I can hear you. I sent the link already.
Oh, great, thanks. Yeah, you would have had to claim the POAP beforehand in order to vote. So if you don't have it, then you don't have it. But yeah, vote for Giveth. It's basically like a weighted voting, so you give like some percentage to whatever projects that you think. I think there's no shame in putting 100% on Giveth if you want. Basically, 70% of all these funds anyway are going to go to our matching pool, and we're going to distribute to our verified projects. So it's not even just going to our team, but it's actually making it possible for us to support more projects, like a big donation. And then 30% of what we get is going to funding the team, like through operations and stuff. So yeah, that's all.
So, yeah, Gitcoin's destroying. Oh my god. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Basically, what was it? They're giving out $1 million, so 16.8% is like almost 170K.
Yeah, it's a ton of money still. Like, I mean, you know, whatever we get is going to be great. So we're doing already very good.
Great. Cool. All right. Anything else? Needs to be
And
mentioned?
you know what I will say though as well, just FYI, Gitcoin isn't using these funds to distribute via QF. They're actually just using it to fund their team and their products. So it is kind of like a different thing. I think it's confusing. You're like, oh, vote some to Gitcoin QF and some to Giveth QF. If you vote for Gitcoin, actually, it's not going through QF. It's going just to fund their team, which is like totally valid and great anyway. And Gitcoin's great. But if you vote for Giveth, 70% is going to fund projects through quadratic funding.
And one of them might be Gitcoin.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some of you, I noticed, split your votes. You said, we'll give some to Giveth, some and some to Gitcoin. I don't know if you can change that afterwards.
You can.
Yes,
You can
change.
Maybe you want to revise your vote with now having new information in your hands.
Yeah, and if anyone has any questions about what the other projects are doing and how they're using these funds, I know all of it because we were hosting these Twitter spaces. Basically, like most of them are using it to fund their development. Even ClearFund is. Drips is actually going to use it to distribute the funds to the other projects via Drips, which is kind of cool. But yeah, if you have any questions and you're like, what is this organization? What are they using the funds for? Ask me. I know. Or if you don't want to ask me, we have the Twitter spaces recorded on the Giveth Twitter, and you can get the information from there as well.
Mm-hmm. Okay. 70% matching pool, 30% development. Okay. Cool. Great. Then let's talk about Crypto Commons sponsorship. Maybe Griff?
Yes, thank you. Julio asked me if Giveth would be interested in doing a $500 sponsorship. I had trouble saying no because, well, I want to know if people are going to the Crypto Commons gathering. Kai, are you going? Anyone else going?
I haven't heard of it so far. I'll meet Felix very soon. I don't know.
You know where it is, right? Have you been
If it's
there?
at the usual place, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I believe it's at the end of the month, end of August, I mean.
Oh wow! So we'll meet at MetaFest. Yeah, I think I might. Yeah, if I come, it will be spontaneous.
Okay. Is anyone else going that you know of? Anybody? If no one else is going, then I don't think it's worth sponsoring. But if people are going, they said that they would have like a, for 500 euros, they would put like a Giveth slot up so we could give like, it's in, do you know where it is, Kai? It's like north of Vienna, right?
It's in a very small town to the south of, I think, of Vienna, and it's a cool place. It's a friendly. It's a gathering place for friendly DAOs, like people from the Common Stack come there, from Metagame, from Panvala. I don't know, many.
Yeah, I mean, they said that Gitcoin Optimism, Pairwise, like Zeptimus is going to go. Glow Dollar, CLR Fund, like Arn will be there. All of these, like the classic crew will be there. Yeah, and we can get some promotion and stuff like that if we throw them 500 euros. So anyway, just thought I'd throw that out there. But if no one's actually committing to going, then I don't think it's worth it.
Okay, so is they gonna have anything written for us to look at, or is this just like, hey, talk to Griff, and then we like just send the money without any written agreement?
No, they could put together a written agreement. He just sent me a feeler a few hours ago. This is what he said.
Okay. Okay. 500 to 1,000 euros. Okay.
And apparently it can even be give tokens.
Okay. Well,
Yeah, I'm just looking at their website. They list Giveth as like a public good funding innovator that they'll be talking about while they're there. I was just looking at the Crypto Commons database. This is what are lessons we can learn from experimentations from groups like and Gitcoin Giveth is on there. So it's happening right in the middle of Burning Man. I think it's cool. I know other people that are going, but not Givethers.
Yep. I think Suka wants to go, but I haven't heard anything from her.
Okay. So what's the requirement? Like at least 2 people are going?
Yeah,
I
think so. I think we should have at least 2 people that are like, I'm so stoked to go to this and I want to go. And if Kai's like, maybe, then.
I'm stoked. It's just like I don't have the time, but I would really love to come there again. I've been one time and I'll definitely come back. Just maybe not the next one.
Yeah.
So I think then let's just stick with that as our rule for this one. 2 people confirm going. Otherwise, it doesn't make sense. Cool. Okay. Great. Then I don't think we'll get through everything, but Ashley had a question about the budgeting flow. Is this related to what we talked to last week or something new?
No, it's not about hiring. It's about more just like, okay, so my working group proposal was passed mid-July, so it's like I put out a budget for 3 months. Does that mean that that July will be the first month of that budget?
Yes.
Okay. And then, so like at the end of the month, I can expect that Frischel will give me an overview of like what hours were logged in my working group by who, and then like how much the cost was so that I can keep track of that. And she sends out the contributor payments each month.
Yeah, everyone's getting paid like normal, so you don't need to worry about any of that.
Okay.
But
And then for the
yes.
there's ambassador rewards. Like I think it doesn't really make sense to release them like to have to ask Frischel every time like one of the ambassadors gets something. So it's like maybe I can request the rewards for the ambassador program to a wallet. I don't know, that I control, or like maybe that the Communitas group controls, or I don't know, and then we can distribute those to ambassadors as we go through the program.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's fine. Because I mean, you think of like how, rewards works is they have their own little sub DAO, and then they just kind of do their thing,
Yeah.
and they work within the budget that's allocated within them.
Cool. Yeah. I don't think we need a whole DAO just for the ambassador program rewards, but it would be, we can talk about it in the call tomorrow, like how we want to do it within our working group. But I guess that was my biggest, I just wanted to get clarity on like which was the first month of the quarter and like how are we moving forward. So.
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to speak for Frischel because she's not here, but like the idea is that, like you said, we should have those numbers to figure out how our actual costs align with our expected costs. And I think Frischel has already been doing that in the past with their old working groups. So we just take everything from Clockify, assuming that people are using Clockify correctly, they should be, and then we just run it up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. There's this one about the DApp working group here. Was there something specific you want to talk about, Nick, or is this just like you, me, and Griff hashing this out?
The only question is that it's safe that I post the forum post, and then we amend the roles there, or should I avoid it for now?
So the context here is that you were saying that you or Griff feels strongly that I should be leading the DApp working group, if I'm getting that correctly. That is, Griff is shaking his head. No.
I do not believe that you should just take on the DApp working group. I do think that while Lauren is on a vacation and stuff, like it'd be really great to have your support, because I think Lauren's doing a lot of like issue generation and like finding bugs and making issues and then getting devs to actually fix the issues. And that's going to be sorely missed in the DApp. And I also think that if we have some bandwidth, we could use, we could use your help in just identifying little bugs that the DApp has and making sure they get fixed. It might even just be like helping chase down some issues. But Monique is taking on Pairwise, and Lauren is going on vacation. So I don't think it has anything to do with, you taking leadership as much as it is just giving support.
Okay. My question is, who's taking leadership then? Because then you're kind of telling me to find bugs on the DApp, but then Monique is supposed to be leading that group. And so it's like, I'm kind of like supposed to ambiguously cover work for Lauren and Monique, but like my role is not clear. That is not a clear role for me to take on.
I think it's not fair for me to come up with that role. All I see is like this impending issue of like Monique being really bogged down with pairwise with a tight deadline, and Lauren being completely absent. So like I don't know what that role is, but I'm looking into the future and I'm like, oh, we're fucked.
Oh, we're okay. To switch these roles together. I mean, sometimes, I have these experiences that I used to be APM sometimes for, because products have some different roles sometimes. So I play the role of the APM. I'm sometimes the main product manager. And, we have support with lots of people. However, I think it's safe enough that I post the working group proposal and then you have your comments there.
Okay, I like that.
Also, I don't know if this is the right forum, but I have been discussing with a lot of people. So as part of growth strategy, I think it's very important to work on the messaging, communication, the website part of it. And I'm not sure, but if I remember correctly, I was mentioned that this comes under DAB working group. So if that is correct, like I would like to discuss this, how to really navigate this, because I think it's super important to work on the communication, making the website and the entire platform super user friendly. So yes, I don't know if it falls under DAP working group, but if it does, let me know if I can have a comment.
Yeah,
okay. So
it does. Yeah.
Got it. So who should I talk to about this? How should I navigate this?
Well, it sounds like Monique is the one who has this working group.
Okay.
In communication channel, I just asked for some numbers. And I think it leads to that we don't use the numbers as a kind of, service from communication team. We hired those specific core contributors in the working group rather than, having a kind of service from them. So
you only want to hire certain contributors?
No, I don't mean that. I didn't mean that. I think that, if you take a look at the communication channel, I just ask Almond and all of the team members to provide me some estimations about the services. For example, for 10K, unique visits, how much we have to spend. Or for example, for being at the top for some specific keywords in the Google for SEO, how much money do we need to spend? But I think the idea there was that, rather than asking for numbers, we just say, okay, Almond, how much hours can you contribute? Or Ahmed, how much hours can you contribute? Maybe I have a meeting with Sobra tomorrow, I think. So we can discuss this.
You need to go to fundraising. I understand that's meeting happening now, but I think Monique has an important topic. So I mean, if Almond and Serbi want to hang out, I think we can figure this out right now.
Yep, I agree.
Okay. Thank you, everyone. If you have to leave, if you are able to stay, then please feel free. Sorry, Monique, I interrupted you. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think we have to meet and talk about it in details. I'm not sure that the meeting is a good thing to start. But what I was thinking for the growth strategy is having a marketing manager, content manager, and specific KPIs and goals for reaching. For example, being on the top 10 website for a specific keywords is a kind of goal. So if I assume that I'm the mini CEO of this working group, I think, okay, reaching to this target has a kind of cost that I have to know. And, usually PMs work like that. That's ask about other agencies, for example, the advertisement agency. That's what do you think about being on top for this, for example, 10 keywords? And they, for example, they define some projects together. And I was thinking like this, that, we use the Google ads, we used all of the agencies to provide us traffic. And this is the one thing. Another one is, having the specific KPIs on the product. For example, unique daily traffic, for example, or monthly unique traffic. And I need a, for example, digital marketer that tells me that, hey, Monique, for example, this flow has a problem and we need to change this in order to meet that KPI. And, we just start doing that. Exactly. So this is based on my experiences. I have to work with these kind of people. Marketing manager, digital marketing manager, sometimes sales manager or salesperson, content marketing strategist, or social marketing managers. These are the old positions.
So let me.
Traditional.
So I heard about a lot of this, and I think there's it's sort of clear, but as an alternative solution, actually, maybe I'll stop talking. Does Almond or Surbi have any questions? I suppose to that.
Surbi, yeah, go ahead, Surbi.
Yes, so I have one question to answer your details first. I can provide you all of these details, KPIs, numbers, traffic details, like you are asking for. That's what I'm penning down as part of my growth strategy as to what the daily active users, monthly active users, retention traffic should be month on month, so on and so forth, to hit a particular milestone of number of donors and number of, projects on the platforms. I'm working on those metrics. I'm happy to provide all these details, but I'm still trying to understand operationally to get the website modified and to get the entire communication modified. What is the way forward, like how to work on that? If you can just clarify that bit, that'll be great.
Yeah, if you have a specific, we have a topic called CRO. The optimization of the client's retentions. I work with some CRO specialists that they were originally marketing managers that give me a feedback that, hey, for example, this flow is corrupt. This flow has a problem. And, if you want to optimize it, you have to change this. And I think it's okay, but we have to consider it as a kind of cost in our strategy. If you want to follow up the growth strategy and you need a specific optimization in the depth flow, and I can have a kind of estimations or that how much it costs and that we can edit this flow. Yeah. But you have to say it specifically that which kind of changes do you exactly need from us.
Understood. So sure, fair enough. So I will send you the list of changes and some approximation of cost, and then you can review it.
Yeah. And, so one thing is, traffic or the product KPIs. The another thing is, the socials. For example, I use with some agencies that they say, for example, we posted on Twitter, on Instagram, and on LinkedIn, these amounts of, with these templates, for example, 10 in a month, and, they had the kind of contracts that we know the whole amounts that we have to pay. And we only have one employees that, amend their content. Is it possible to work like this? Because I know that Almond is doing all of this stuff. We can have Almond as a kind of full-time contributor or half-time contributor. I don't know. And you can say to me that, for example, we can provide this stuff. We're currently doing it, and I have a clue that's how might it work and fit in which strategy that we're choosing.
Yeah.
I hope it makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense. As we were DMing, you can count with either social media and marketing work with the comms chapter for sure. So that's one thing, and the other thing, Surbi is very interested in work with very close with you, Monique, towards the DAP marketing strategy moving forward. So I think that maybe a good idea will be to have her hand by hand with you. Actually, she has some points, as she already mentioned, that she would like to work looking forward for the DAP. I think that would be a good idea if we can include that in the DAP proposal working group as haven't been posted yet. So I don't know if it would be possible if maybe you and sort of be meet in order to create a more robust proposal, including marketing in a very detailed way, and yeah, just then move from there, I think.
Sure. We have to work together. This is the thing that I mentioned from the beginning of during the Giveth, that the marketing and the product management should be all together. There is no difference between, because we have to make it. If you want to make it, you guys has to tell us what to do. We're not creating feature. We're just holding a business. And no matter that's what we built so far, we can change a lot. However, if we want to create this proposal, we have to also have a look for shrink and sustain strategy. And shrink and sustain strategy, in my point of view, we have to define it. We don't want to include marketing. We want to include marketing. How much marketing it needs. I had an experience with an app that the app traffic was stable. We don't have any growth, but we spend much every month for marketing and social media and content. So, if we want to create a proposal, we also want to have these numbers in this, quarterly numbers.
Mm-hmm.
And another question that comes to my mind is that this Give Economy QF and maybe other working groups are not totally separated. And for example, we launch QF. You do a lot of effort for content providing, posting on social medias, marketing, but it shouldn't be in the depth. A budget, or it should be, this is a question. The only solution that came to my mind is that we just divide it. We say, okay, you think that we have this cost for social media management, and 1/3 of this is going to DAP, for example.
The other total cost of. Yeah, ideally, comms and marketing should be included in every working group that needs it. So, if QF needs comms and marketing to do an alpha round or something, there should be a cost associated with it.
Yeah, these are my main concerns.
I think that shrink and sustain, I would let you, Monique, define those. I think that is more into your own experience to know if you need to include marketing in shrink and sustain. And I think that where the comms team can help you is if you decide to go with a reduced marketing effort, then for sure we can provide that, but I will let you in your hands to decide how much marketing do you want to include in all your different tiers of that proposal. And then again, Zerbi is very open and willing to work hand by hand with you. I think that she will be more like into the person that will be doing the majority of the efforts, at least from the comms chapter. So I think that maybe the next steps would be to get into a call to figure out the marketing resources and numbers that you will need, and then move forward in the next com syncs.
Very good. Interesting. Maybe we can create a group all together and work.
Yeah. You and Serbi also have a much better time zone to do work, so compared to Almond and I. So there you go.
Sure, I can create a DM group if that would be easier, so we can communicate faster, more directly through there.
And Mitch, another question. It's not related, but do Give Economy, QF, and these sort of working groups have a cost of DevOps included or not?
They should. They should.
But
that's what I was telling.
They passed, but they didn't, I think.
No, you're right. And that's what I wanted is I wanted to know how much we need for DevOps, how much we're paying for software, subscriptions, etc.
So this is another question, because I have the number roughly from Kai, but I don't know how can I distribute it among with, the Give Economy QF, because we make the Give Economy and QF separated from them, and it's a little bit hard to, the only solution that came to my mind again is, dividing. Linearly dividing to 3 working groups that has product.
Yeah, because there's lots of shared services, but it's like what I wanted from this is I was like, okay, well, what does it cost for running the subgraph? What does it cost for running these RPC endpoints? Pinata, Infura, Alchemy, like what are all of these domain names? So there's not really as much detail as I wanted from this. But I would like that from the DApp because there's, like you said, there's costs that are implied here that aren't being tracked.
Yeah. Okay. So I divided by 3.
Between Give Economy, go ahead, Kai.
I think, if you're interested in dividing these out, but then we should have maybe a larger call with just this topic. I collected some numbers, but still, it's not that easy to get them. It's very, let's say, it's very easy to forget one. And we also can make projections, right? Like stuff changes. But in my mind, it's not so bad to differentiate. Like I have a pretty good picture of what could be the depths, responsibility, what could be Give Economies, and what could be the DAOs. Simple example, email is DAO, a server running the whole application is the application, and if we had any subgraph costs, that would be Give Economy, for example. But I would like to do this in more detail. I did get the numbers together, but it did not change anything, so I didn't contact you again, Monique. But we should have that call anytime.
Okay.
I think, I don't want to make it very complicated, but if you let me, I think it's okay. We have a rough numbers. We can have an average of it, and then we can divide it by 2 or 3. I think that it doesn't make sense that we exclude the QF from Give Economy. We can say that we only have 2 application or 2 main product. That's one is DApp and one is Give Economy. I know that DAO and other working groups may need some stuff, but I think it makes sense that we divide by 2 the rough monthly number that we have. Or what do you think?
I would be curious just to see what Kai's got for us, because it sounds like he has a pretty good idea already.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
I want to end this call. Yeah. So
Thank you.
this is lots of information, so it's like, okay, Surbi and Monique need to meet, and then maybe Kai, myself, Lauren, Monique can look at some of these costs, and probably good to have for Shell there as well. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. I'm gonna finish these notes, but thanks everyone for coming, and we'll do the same time next week. Okay.
Thank you, Mitch.
Okay.
Thank
Yep.
you.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Thank you, Mish. Goodbye.